Mine's going along really well. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm really loving these colors. Okay, the colors are fantastic and I'm really digging this yarn. The information on the pattern and the yarn is linked down below. In today's video though, I want to show you how I kind of keep track of where I am without using a ton of stitch markers. As far as the lace repeats go, I want to show you how to do the purl back to front. So I'll demonstrate that using my work in progress, but I also will link you to some technique videos in the Knitting Basics playlist that, show everything a little closer up and a little more slowly. So look for those. Those links are down below, as well as I'll put links in the upper right-hand corner of the video as well. So, all right, let's get working. All right, I'm on the wrong side row, and I'm almost to the last 2 stitches where the instructions indicate that we need to purl through the back and the front. So I'm going to go into the back of the stitch as if to purl, and I'm just simply going to wrap that like I normally would and go back through. But instead of taking the stitch off, I'm going to bring my working needle around toward the front and purl into it, the front of it, the front leg, like I normally would. And so by doing that, I have increased and made 2 stitches out of 1. So if you want to see that up close, click the link in the upper right hand corner and it'll take you to a video where I show that with a little bit larger yarn and show it more closely. All right, I want to help you learn to read your knitting, so to speak. So you can tell that this is, if these look like V shapes or trees to you or whatever, but I want you to be able to tell what you're looking at. So if you can kind of keep track, you can certainly use stitch markers at the end of each lace repeat. I know a lot of people are doing that. I know if I'm on track because I always have that single knit stitch at the end of the lace repeat, and you can see that that's this column right here. And this is the center of the lace repeat that you can see because it's the central double decrease stitches right here. And everything else is in between there. So we know that the right leaning increases are these, and these are obviously all yarn overs, and the left leaning increases are here, and those are all the yarn overs. So once you can kind of get the hang of reading your knitting, if you will, and understanding how the chart corresponds to what you're actually seeing, then it becomes easier to be able to tell if you've gone wayward or if you're on track or not. So let me show you now how to close up how to do a central double decrease on these next 3 stitches. And I know that you can tell that here because this is the column where all of those are occurring. So I simply want to slip these next 2 stitches off together as if to knit. So instead of going slip, slip, knit where I do them individually, I'm going to slip them off together. And then I'm going to knit the next stitch. And my yarn is, I've just done a yarn over, so it's coming off the front, but it's really in the back because that's a yarn over. And I'm going to do that next knitted stitch. And then I'm just going to take these 2 that are kind of paired up together now because I slipped them together. That helps them stay together, and I'm going to just pull those over the top of the one that I knitted. And then I like to just give it a little tug and kind of straighten everything out so it lays flat. So we were talking the other night in Knit Night about how I use the chart and how I kind of just get a little, I don't know, I do these little sayings in my mind. I almost do a little chant, if you will. So in this particular situation, I've just knitted 5, and now I'm going to do a yo, or a yarn over. I go yo left. Left to me is a left leaner, which is really a slip, slip, knit. So yo left, yo, and I do the central double decrease. I'll show you that again. Slip 2 off together as if to knit. Knit the next stitch, and then grab those 2 from underneath and pull them over. And I just give it a little tug to straighten it out. So I don't really have to look at the chart every single time because I can see where I'm at and I know what's expected. And I think that just comes with a bunch of practice. Okay, so there was my 5 together, the third of which is the center column at the end of the lace repeat. And then I'm going to do another yarn over. And I can tell, even if I were to get interrupted right now, I can tell that the next 3 stitches have to be that central double decrease because that's the column that I'm on. I know that that's what's expected next. Even if I had to go set down my knitting and, whoops, see, I almost made a mistake. I slipped those 2 off and knit the next one. So I was talking, so I almost messed that up. But if you can just get yourself a little rhythm, particularly if you're uninterrupted, then I know that there's a yarn over right after that, a knit 2 together, which is a right leaning increase, and another yo. And now I'm back to the knit 5 in a row. Or it's really knit 3 to the end of the lace repeat, and then beginning again is another knit 2. But in my brain, it's knit 5. So I guess the point here is if you can just get your, create your own little shorthand if you need to, your own little mantra so that you can remember what you're doing, then you're less likely to have to look at your work, look at the chart, look at your work, look at the chart, and go back and forth every single time and try and find your place. So that ends up being a lot more accurate if you can concentrate without having to divert your attention from your knitting to the paper or knitting to the paper and so forth. All right, I hope you found that helpful. If you like and subscribe and hit that little bell down below so you'll get notifications when there's a new video that comes out each week. And feel free to join our groups. I'd love to see photos of your works in progress. And as always, let me know if you have any questions. All right, knit on, my friends.